This is the new Mercedes C-Class, a car I waited for a very long time. Back in 2007, when I got into the previous C-Class, it was one of the best cars in the segment. Now in this car here we have a lot of systems that I know from the S-Class. So the question is whether a new C-Class is a smaller S-Class or a bigger A-Class, a bigger fun car. Well, there is only one way to find out. Here we are in the Mercedes C-Class 250 Blue Tech. That's a diesel. Earlier today I drove the 250 petrol. The 250 petrol was awful. It was underpowered. You just had to rev it all the way to probably 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and it wouldn't do anything. It was boat-like. It was heavy. It just didn't feel like a car you want to drive. Surprisingly enough, the diesel is the much better choice. I thought these turbocharged petrol engines would do the job. No, you need the diesel, and probably a 220 or 250 diesel is the stuff you want to go for. So here we are in this car. It's a bit more nose heavy, but at the same time more involving to drive, which is a nice change from the petrol car I was driving before. The petrol version had slightly higher profile tires, so it may have been a tad more comfortable than this car, but still the suspension soaks up all the bumps nicely, and it's good, comfortable Mercedes suspension. Not sporty, but definitely something set for comfort, set for long cruises. What do we have here in the cabin? Well, we have a bit of leather, a bit of aluminium, a bit of wood, a bit of, I don't know, velour in some cases. Now, this might be a bit too much, but I saw an AMG line car as well, and it was much more toned down. It was the interior I would like to have on a car. There are a lot of things brought in from the Mercedes S-Class, namely this touch control unit, which, to be honest, is not very intuitive, at least not at first. I think I would rather stick to this knob business that's here, or have the touch interface on the knob rather than all this bulging thing here. I don't like it. And then it's like in a Mercedes. There's a bit of buttons and controls here, a bit of buttons and controls there, a bit here on the buttons on the wheel. It's all very complicated. It takes time getting used to. Interesting thing is the sitting position. In the front there is a lot of adjustment. I actually had to bring the driver's seat up, which is not something I do usually because I like to sit low, but here, if I put the seat all the way down, I won't be able to see out of the windows. And I'm, 175 centimeters, that's I think mid-height, please tell me I'm mid-size, not short. Anyway, so here, plenty of adjustment, decent headroom still. In the back though, it's terrible. There is not much headroom because of the panoramic sunroof. Not much legroom, unfortunately. Huge transmission tunnel, and to make things worse, the seats are very, very short. So it's just not comfortable in there. Unlike the S-Class, where you want to be driven, in this car, even if you don't want to, you have to drive because you really don't want to be back there. And we're back. This time it's a C400. That's a 3-liter, 330 horsepower engine. Brilliant engine. It's strong enough, powerful enough, it's got enough torque to overcome the shortcomings of the 7 G-Tronic, or G-Tronic as I like to call it, Mercedes gearbox. What it does basically is takes this car from whatever speed you're doing to twice, 3 times that in one gear. It's brilliant, and it's also quite economical, which is well, kind of unexpected. 3-liter engine, V6, and it does about 10 liters per 100 kilometers. Okay, it's extra urban cycle, but it's reasonable. It also sounds good, doesn't it? And this is in comfort mode. This car has 4MATIC all-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive from Mercedes, so it corners quite well. What I don't like about this car and the other C-Classes is the brakes. The brakes, they're kind of binary, 0, 1. Nothing's happening, and then all of a sudden everything just flies forward. So it's not something I like. I would like to modulate the braking a bit more. What else about this engine? Yeah, it's the engine you want to go for. It's the car you want to go for because you can cruise comfortably, and then when you really need to step on it, you just press on the accelerator and off it goes. And I have to brake and see, nothing's happening. I'm braking, nothing's happening, and the brakes suck. The A-Class and the CLA were a revolution for Mercedes, unlike this very attractive and very modern C-Class. Despite its looks, it's more of an evolution than a revolution. It's more like a smaller S-Class, something that you want to drive, and you want to drive comfortably rather than aggressively, dynamically. So, would I choose it? No, I would definitely not. I would go for the CLA, which is more dynamic, but if you value your comfort, your quiet cabin, this is the car you want to look at.